is how we do it.
So, do you know what affirmative action is?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, I mean, it's when race is taken into consideration on certain things, kind of like with college admissions and like jobs and stuff. So.
I mean, it helps promote equality by understanding that not everybody has the same, how would you say, like privileges and different resources when you grow up. So in the university context, it helps correct for that so that everybody can have an equal opportunity to an education.
I'll describe affirmative action as a system that is meant to either like mandate or influence a certain level of diversity in like either college, like a business organization and things like that. Oftentimes either by adding more weight to candidates of a certain background that's often less represented, or sometimes even setting like a target goal of a certain level of diverse or certain number of people from different backgrounds in an organization.
Yes, I'm not sure when it specifically started. I want to say in the 60s there was some Supreme Court bill that brought it into play, and I think it was brought in because of like Jim Crow laws and just like prior marginalizations of groups before they were really allowed to enter these like historically white spaces. So that's how I think it started.
Yes, it came into place because in America, once upon a time, lots of different people were discriminated against via gender, via race, via religion, and etc. And when you have a country that's built upon discrimination, you have to address those issues when you're trying to fix everything. So they came up with rules for the populations that were discriminated against to help them prosper.
So I think it's great. I think it's we need it because we do need it, even the playing ground. Mm-hmm. And personally for me, I think evening the playing ground starts from education. Mm-hmm. But obviously that will take many, many years to really, truly even that playing ground. So affirmative action is a great resource to have.
I believe it's beneficial, but I think that it could cater more to like people of color more and like the black community more. So
I think it's pretty good. All in all, I think it's a good thing. I do think sometimes people follow the letter of the law rather than the intent. When people try to say, for example, I have Asian relatives, and I believe sometimes that they feel discriminated against because certain schools would have an overrepresentation of Asian students, it seems. So they, sometimes they're overrepresented compared to their percentage of the population, and I think a lot of schools, like I've heard about some schools out in California in particular, like maybe Berkeley, where people feel like they're not getting in because they're Asian, because there's such a high Asian population. So I don't know if that's true, but that's the kinds of and then again, there are arguments. People say, well, it's no longer as necessary as it was because we've had affirmative action for 30 or so years. I don't really know the data on that. I'm sure it's been good overall.
Okay. I feel like there are lots of misconceptions that people do not understand about affirmative action. I can definitely say that coming here, I've experienced quite a few times people saying things like, oh yeah, affirmative action must be great for you, and things of that nature. But affirmative action actually doesn't benefit Black people or people of other minorities, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, Indians, as much as people think. Actually, affirmative action benefits white women more often than not. And I think it's something that should, continue to benefit minorities in that way. But I also feel like the public perception of this issue kind of sort of makes it, I don't know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Because I don't want to come here and have people assume that I only got in because, I'm Black, when in actuality my SAT score is probably higher than most of these people, honestly.
Personally, I am not a fan of affirmative action, especially now that it's 2016, not the 1970s. I believe that candidates, whether it's for a job, for a college, I don't believe that they should be evaluated based on race, based on the background, but by their qualifications and by what they can do for the organization, like whether it's a college or like I think they should just be evaluated based on who they are as a person and based on what their qualifications are.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Legacy admission.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, like, I feel like we try to say that America is a meritocracy, and legacy admissions work against that, in my opinion. You shouldn't just get in somewhere because your family went there. You should get in there based off of your merit, and that's how affirmative action works. Affirmative action works by finding people who are of merit. And I think there was like this one crazy statistics coming from Ivy League universities where legacy admissions students tend to do worse than everybody else at the school. Wow. So I think that was at Harvard or something like that. I think Vox did that if you want to look that up. But it was, yeah, I mean, I just think legacy admissions hurt the campus instead of, I mean, it benefits us because we get money, but I think it hurts our overall diversity of our universities and also the academic merit of our universities. So.
It frustrates me a little bit. I do know a little bit about, I have some friends that are out of state, and I know that it's extremely competitive to get in here out of state, and their GPAs are significantly lower, and they're also really struggling here. One girl couldn't come back after her first year because I think her GPA was a 1.4 or something, and she just was really struggling. So it frustrates me when you have people that are working so hard, and I know that this probably isn't just, there are a lot of people that are legacies that deserve a spot here, and maybe their legacy did help them, but they probably would have gotten in otherwise. So I think that there's two sides to the argument, but I definitely do think that some people get in because of their legacy, and I think that they struggle because of that. And if they get in because of their legacy and they don't struggle, then maybe they should have been let in anyway. So I don't know.
I mean, I could be laughing at me in class. No, but I think if the person is qualified, it shouldn't matter whether your mom, your grandma, your great grandma went here. If you qualified, you should get in. But if not, hey, how you doing? But if not, I'm sorry, bro.
It's okay. It's okay. We can edit.
But if not, you shouldn't get in just because your mama went here. Cause I mean, my mama could go here, but I'm not qualified and not gonna make it here. I'm taking up a spot for somebody else that could actually use it. So.